We have been away for a while now, but we are back again to give you guys the best betting football picks. So in today's video we will be giving you guys our best predictions of game week 8 of the English Premier League. Always remember to bet responsibly and do not bet with money you cannot afford to lose. So without further ado, let us get right into it. Premier League football graces our screens again at 12:30 p.m. on Saturday afternoon, when Nottingham Forest and Chelsea resume the domestic campaign at the City Ground. The Tricky Trees are still yet to achieve success under the pressurized Ange Postecoglou, whereas the Blues are searching for a fourth win from 5 games across all tournaments. The international break came at an ideal time for Forest and an inopportune time for Chelsea, whose surfeit of fitness doubts makes this one of the trickier pre-game predictions. However, the Blues have scored 50% of their Premier League away goals from corners this season, and given Forest's well-documented struggles defending dead balls under Postecoglou, that could very well prove to be the difference. So I'm gonna go for 1-2 Chelsea win, and my betting tip is Chelsea draw no bet. Two teams level on points in the Premier League table square off at the Amex Stadium on Saturday afternoon, as Brighton and Hove Albion play host to Newcastle United. The Seagulls and the Magpies meet for the first time since the beginning of May, when the latter snatched a point in a 1-1 draw on the South Coast, courtesy of an 89th-minute penalty from a player now despised by many on Tyneside, Alexander Isak. Newcastle's surprisingly poor Premier League record against Brighton, coupled with the Seagulls' strong home form, should give Hurzeler's side a boost in confidence ahead of this weekend's fixture. However, the Magpies have proven to be a resolute defensive outfit so far this season, and that could be key in claiming at least a share of the spoils from what may be a closely contested battle on this occasion. So I'm gonna go for a 1-1 draw, and my betting tip is both teams to score. Last season's top 2 teams in the Championship lock horns in a Premier League contest at Turf Moor on Saturday afternoon, as Burnley play host to Leeds United. This fixture sees Claret's boss Scott Parker face Leeds manager Daniel Farke, the bottom 2 coaches for PL points per game averages of any to oversee 50-plus matches in the division's history, Parker averaging 0.75 per game to Farke's 0.61. This fixture represents a major opportunity for both teams to claim 3 valuable points and climb away from the relegation zone. Both encounters last season were tight affairs, and another close contest could be on the cards this weekend, one that we feel Burnley will edge on home soil. So I'm gonna go for a 1-0 Burnley win, and my betting tip is total under 4.5 cards, because I don't think they will be more than 4 cards in this game. Mourning the loss of their club record unbeaten run, Crystal Palace take part in one of this weekend's unforeseen headline Premier League fixtures at home to fellow top 6 outfit Bournemouth. The Eagles' magnificent streak was brought to an end by Everton before the international break, whereas the Cherries' upward trajectory continued at home to Fulham. The only side to ever keep 5 successive Premier League clean sheets against Crystal Palace were Tottenham Hotspur from 2016 to 2019, but the Eagles will surely snap their barren scoreless run against Bournemouth at their Selhurst Park fortress. However, even with the international break disrupting their momentum, the informed Cherries should be more than good enough for a share of the spoils in the capital, but their wait for Premier League win number 100 will surely continue. So I'm gonna go for a 1-1 draw, and my betting tip is both teams to score. Manchester City could climb to the top of the Premier League table if they beat Everton at the Etihad Stadium on Saturday afternoon. The Citizens and the Toffees meet for the first time since the middle of April, when the former left it late to beat the latter 2-0 at Goodison Park, courtesy of goals from Nico O'Reilly and Mateo Kovacic. Facing Man City at the Etihad was never going to be easy for Everton, but the absence of their chief creator Grealish has made an unlikely upset even more improbable. Guardiola's resurgent citizens boast a strong unbeaten record against the Toffees and have also won 7 of their last 8 Premier League home matches, so it is difficult to back against the hosts claiming a routine victory this weekend, especially with Haaland in red-hot form. So I'm gonna go for a 2-0 Man City win, and my betting tip is Manchester City money line. Still searching for their first Premier League victory of the 2025-26 season, basement club Wolverhampton Wanderers travel to the Stadium of Light to face Sunderland on Saturday afternoon. The Black Cats and the Old Gold meet for the first time in a top-flight fixture since April 2012 when they played out a goalless stalemate on Wearside. Wolves are desperate to get off the mark with a much-needed win in the Premier League and will have identified their trip to Sunderland as a real opportunity to claim maximum points. However, the Black Cats have particularly impressed on home soil this term, and given the visitors have been lacking a cutting edge up front, we are backing the hosts to secure a slender victory. So I'm gonna go for a 1-0 Sunderland win, and my betting tip is Sunderland to win with an handicap of +1. Returning from the international break to one of their lesser-favored haunts, Arsenal hit the road to meet Fulham at Craven Cottage in Saturday evening's Premier League contest. The Gunners dethroned Liverpool at the summit of the standings before the 2-week hiatus, while their hosts are bidding to snap a 2-game losing run, both in the top flight and across all tournaments. Given Fulham's alarming selection concerns up front, we would not put it past Silva to start with 3 centre-backs once again in a bid to frustrate the Gunners, whose efforts to break down a low block are not pretty to watch. However, the hosts will surely have a much harder time against the visitors' dogged defence, and even if they have to rely on their trusty set pieces again, Arsenal should lift their Craven Cottage curse to remain atop the table. So I'm gonna go for a 0-2 Arsenal win, and my betting tip is Arsenal money line. Aiming for a 5th successive win in all tournaments and a 3rd straight victory over Tottenham Hotspur, Aston Villa travelled to the Lily-Whites' North London home for Sunday's Premier League clash. The Lions edged out Burnley 2-1 prior to the international break, while Spurs coincidentally bested another newly promoted team by the same scoreline, getting the better of Leeds United. The last time Tottenham and Aston Villa played out a draw in the Premier League, Alex McLeish and Harry Redknapp were in the dugouts in May 2012. There has since been a winner and a loser in the last 20 top-flight games between the sides. However, with the Lions on an upward trajectory and Spurs going steady under Frank, we simply cannot pick a clear winner and are backing a first stalemate in over 13 years between the two clubs. So I'm gonna go for a 1-1 draw, and my betting tip is both teams to score. A potentially unimaginable scenario just a few weeks ago, Manchester United could close the gap to Premier League leaders Liverpool to just 2 points on Sunday, if they can prolong the Merseysiders' misery in this weekend's headline battle at Anfield. Arne Slot oversaw a miserable 3 straight losses in all competitions before the international break, whereas the Red Devils are searching for a respectable 4th win from 6 in the top flight. Strange and unexpected things have happened between Liverpool and Man United over the years, and the Reds' unforeseen downturn in fortunes adds another layer of intrigue to Sunday's main event, where neither side should come away unscathed. However, taking the Anfield factor and Man United's atrocious away form into account, Liverpool, who saw the international break come at the perfect time, should overwhelm Amorim's unconvincing charges to potentially kickstart an autumn renaissance. So I'm gonna go for a 3-1 Liverpool win, and my betting tip is total over 2.5 goals. West Ham host Brentford at the London Stadium on Monday as both sides look to swing momentum in their favour. With neither side enjoying a stellar start, the pressure is mounting to seize points and regain form. History and form both appear to slightly favour Brentford for this meeting, supported by the outcome of their last encounter and their comparative resilience away from home. With West Ham winless in 80% of their last 25 matches and Brentford able to pull off results on the road, it is understandable why the algorithm gives Brentford a 38% chance of coming away with the win. A tight contest remains likely, with Brentford predicted to prevail narrowly, replicating their previous away success against the Hammers. So I'm gonna go for a 1-2 Brentford win, and my betting tip is total corners over 9.5.